welcome to my podcast, The Crafty Dragon. My name is Susan and this is where I talk about all the knitting and other crafty things that are part of my life. I'm coming to you from my flat in South East London, and as always you can find me on Instagram as @charlies_dragon and on the group on Ravelry, where you can find by clicking the groups tab and searching for The Crafty Dragon. My username there is Charlie's Dragon. I'd like to say a really big welcome to any new viewers out there. Hello, it's lovely to see you, and a big welcome back to any returning viewers. It's great to have returning viewers. Thank you to everyone for taking just a little bit of your day to spend it with me. So on to just a couple of housekeeping points before we get on to any nitty goodness. The first one is that there probably won't be an episode next week. This is because I'm going to be away for the weekend. Woo! I'll be in Gloucestershire, well actually just outside Gloucester itself. I'll be at a convention called The Hooded Man 3, because obviously it's the third one. This is about the TV show from the 80s called Robin of Sherwood. I highly recommend you go and find it. I think the DVDs are not particularly much on Amazon. There's probably somewhere that you can stream. I don't know if it's on Amazon, but it'll be somewhere, I'm sure, because it's amazing. Yeah, I'm a little bit excited because not only are they going to have Michael Praed, they're going to have Jason Connery, pending any last minute changes, you know, if someone happens to fall sick. And most of the rest of the casting is just amazing. And second point of housekeeping, probably far more interesting for you, is that on Thursday the Sunny Days Cowl will be starting. Just a quick reminder, this is going to be running from the 10th of April to... This is going to be running from the 10th of May to the 10th of August, so 3 months long for you. The minimum requirements are 50 grams of yarn to be used, which I'm perfectly sure everyone can do. And as the title of it implies, it's all Sunny Days themed. So I'm more likely to be lace than cables, but hey, if you can fit cables in, do it. And just basically, if you can explain why your project makes you think of sunny days, go for it. If it's a pair of socks, if it's a shawl, if it's a top, who cares? Basically. So yeah, minimum 50 grams of yarn to be used, and any explanation you can come up with for why it's sunny days themed. There will be a finished objects thread, but it won't be up till closer to the time of the deadline. But there is a chatter thread open, so go over, join the group and have fun, make friends, have a chat, all that good stuff. And now on to what I've been making. So last week I said that I would probably have at least a hoe for you, a half finished object, which would, you know, most likely be a sock out of a pair. Unfortunately, this is not so. I have most of a sock. I mean, I've done the heel flap. I had to redo the heel extension quite a few times because I was trying to do a different way and it didn't work. I'd already gone too far into my normal sock heel process to do a last minute difference. So I don't have a finished sock for you, but I do have the entirety of a foot and all of the heel just done. So just turned the heel and I've done 2 out of the 4 rows for the pattern repeat, because that is Hermione's everyday socks that I'm doing from the toe up with an eye of partridge toe, eye of partridge heel. I see, does it show up? There you go, you can see the texture in it there. Doesn't quite show so much on the toe. For some reason, I think it must be this camera and not just the light, even though I am filming at a later point in the day, so it's not quite so glary. Even though there is some glare off the glasses. These are the new glasses. I literally just picked them up a few hours ago today. So whilst there is some glare coming off them, that's the little green, there we go, green bits there. That's the camera reflecting back at me. It's not so bad as it has been in the last few weeks because there's not this massive great glare because it's got the anti-glare coating, and that is enough about my new glasses. But I'm hoping you can sort of see. What I might do is find a photo of the actual yarn and put it in, either in the link if I can't put it into the actual video itself. But it's this great glorious sort of emerald greeny line, kind of like a mixture between emerald green and the peel of a lime. It's amazing, this intense greenness, and then you've got this sort of raspberry pinky purple bit here with slightly paler bits where it's sort of fading from one to the other, and this beautiful colour here is really gold. It reminds me of pie crust, which is helpful because, you know, these are my raspberry and lime pie socks, so kind of need some pie crust in there. But yes, that's pretty much all I've done. I mean, I was about here or so last week, give or take a bit. So I've done the gusset increases, I've done the heel extension, the heel flap, the whole of the heel construction, and I'm literally just started on the leg. So next time I'm with you, which as I said earlier will probably be 2 weeks time, I should not only have that sock finished, hopefully I'll have a pair for you. Hopefully there will be 2 socks. Fingers crossed. I did work on another project this week, the sleeve of my Dragon House sweater, but I haven't actually got it out here to show you because it's literally been just like, I think 3 or 4 rows I did on it, probably 1 increase, so there's no real point showing you. It's just going to be sort of this much bigger, which really isn't worth showing you. So unfortunately I am slightly light on the knitting content, on the creative content at all, because I still haven't managed to do any sewing. This week somehow just completely flew by. I blinked and it was this morning, basically. I'm not quite sure where the rest of the week has gone, but work's over and it's the weekend, and it's a long weekend because we've got the May bank holiday on Monday, so that's all good. So hopefully I'll be able to get some sewing done, even if it's just cutting out pieces and washing fabric and cutting out pieces. Hopefully I'll get some done. So yeah, that is it for Crafty creative content. So I do have, however, a small amount of stash acquisition. As I said last week, I did order 3 different sets of things from 3 different people on Etsy. Unfortunately, one of them hasn't come yet, so hey, that's something to look forward to next time. It's probably going to be in tomorrow's post, knowing my luck. Oh, let me just see. There we go. If I just move slightly. There we go. If I just sit here a bit. Okay, so I have 1 yarn and 1 project bag for you. And this is the yarn. So the colours aren't coming up quite so well, but you can see the great sparkle that is in there. So this is the colourway I'm Your Venus by Solstice Yarns, and it's on her Starborn sock yarn, which is 75% superwash merino, 20% nylon and 5% sparkle. It's 400 metres or 437 yards to the 100 gram skein, and it's this great slightly pinky purple for most of it, with flashes of natural and yellow, and this much darker intense pink and some orange, and there's also dark green in there, and oh look, it's so great. Look, there's the bright orange and the sparkle. Seriously, the sparkle is amazing. But yeah, there's some of the more orange, and it's just great. The camera literally doesn't do it justice. It's beautiful. Here is her business card, so if you can see there. So you should go find her on Etsy. She's also on Instagram as Solstice Yarns, or one word, and I had a quick chat with her through Instagram messaging, and she's a lovely, lovely person. And next up is a project bag that I have been eyeing on Etsy for quite some time. It's been in my favourites for rather a while. I've been sitting there going, oh, if only I could justify it. And this month I had some money, and I was looking through, working out what I'm going to be packing for next weekend, and a few other things I may or may not be going to. I was like, well, actually, don't have enough project bags for everything. I need to be able to split them up properly. So I decided I would have to buy this. And really, this is amazing. Look. It's a project bag with a map of Middle-earth. The whole fabric on the outside is Middle-earth themed. So you've got the Shire over here. Don't know if you can see. And so it's got the line, it's got the route that they took to Erebor, but unfortunately Erebor would be kind of over here if it was on the map. So, but they've got Hobbiton, where they start in the Shire. Ooh. and it goes all the way across, and then back here you've got Rivendell, and there's the Misty Mountains where they cross, and over here you've got the Carrick where the eagles drop them off, and then over here you've got the beginnings of Mirkwood. Oh, it's great. And for anyone who's interested, there's the Mines of Moria, there's Lothlorien, so obviously everything with Lord of the Rings, more of it takes place down here on the map. And not only is the fabric beautiful, the construction is just, I mean, I know obviously it's professional because it's this lady's job, which she's selling on Etsy, but I mean, you couldn't ask for better quality if you were to go into a shop on the high street and buy one, because it's just such neat sewing and everything. It's beautiful, and there's this little tab with a D-ring, so you can hang it on the table if you had one of those table hooks, so when you're a knitting group or something, or you know, to connect it to your main bag that it's in so it doesn't get lost. The ring pull has this little leaf on there as well, stitch marker, but I'm probably just going to leave it there as an extra special ring, not ring pull, zip pull. And the inside is this really nice, neat cream fabric, so it's just nice and light and airy, but also stitched into the same seam as has got the the D pull on the outside. Got another clip inside, so you can open it up. Look if I get the right way. So you can put, say, your portable scissors or your any of your notions, like your stitch markers or progress markers, on there as well, and then it clips back together, and then they're just where you need them when you want them. And it's, I mean, this is supposed to be just a sock yarn, a sock wedge bag. It's huge. I've lost my hand in here. It's like the size of my face. It's the size of my face. And it's amazing, and I love it. And where's her business card? Go, there we go. And also, so there's her business card, Amelia Joy. So let's see, there we go. And not only is the project bag beautiful, not only is her card really nice and neat and professional, but she's put a free little stitch marker on there. I don't know if you, let's see, there we go, little free stitch marker, which is always handy. So that's lovely as well. So go to Amelia X Joy on Etsy for your fandom project bag needs, because this is just wonderful. It's mine, all mine. And you should also go to Solstice Yarns for your amazing, squishy, lovable yarn, because when I picked this up out the post box downstairs, I was with my neighbour, and she's also a friend I happened to know before she moved in, and I was opening the package, and I must tell you, it was packaged beautifully. It was nicely wrapped, and it was just a delight to open. And when I got it out, I was like, oh, this is so squishy. And she tentatively reached her hand over, because she's not a knitter. I mean, she's a musician, but she's not a knitter, but she does do crafty things. She sort of tentatively reached over in a sort of implicit, can I squish too way? And she was like, oh, it is soft, isn't it? Yeah, so it's not just me. It is really soft. It's lovely, and I can't wait to knit with it, but I think I might have to just sort of let it sit in the stash so I can walk past every now and go, ooh, squishy, because that's lovely too. So that is also pretty much it in the way of stash acquisitions. There is one other thing that I've ordered, well, one set of things, but as I said, it hasn't turned up, so we get that lovely prettiness and package to open next time. So other than that, which is all a great load of beautifulness, we're on to ramblings. And again, for some reason this seems like such a short episode. I'm so sorry. When I first thought of doing this podcast, I thought, oh, that's fine, I'll easily be able to fill 50 minutes to an hour. It's going to be a problem trying to cut out all the extra ramblings and extra rubbish that you're going to be saying, Susan. But no, for some reason I seem to come in at just about half an hour most of the times, if I'm lucky. If not, it's more like 20 minutes. And I mean, if you met me in real life, once I'm comfortable with you, I can talk the hind leg off a donkey. And yet these podcasts are coming in, like, if I'm lucky, 35 minutes. If not, somewhere like 20, 25. And okay, I know it's because I don't have a lot of knitting to show you all the time, or a load of sewing to show you, because somehow the week manages to go by and I haven't done as much knitting, which is ridiculous, because between 1st of January, beginning of the year, and the end of March, I'd done something like knit 8 pairs of socks. Or was it 9 even? Something like that. It's ridiculous. It's just, literally, since I started doing this podcast, for some reason, I haven't been knitting as much. Part of that is probably because it takes me quite a while to not only film the episode, but edit it and get it uploaded, because it's a learning curve. This is only the 6th episode, so it's only the 6th times I've done the editing part of this. So hopefully, the more I do it, the quicker it'll get, the less I'll have to cut out, because I won't be, oh my god, staring in the headlights going, what do I say next? I've completely forgot my next line, what's my line? Sort of thing, which there's quite a lot of that gets cut out. Because I mean, sometimes I film 40, 45 minutes, and then you cut out all the and then just kind of staring blankly for half a minute bits, and it comes down to like 24 minutes. And you're like, really? Was it really half the amount of time I was just sitting there going, oh? But apparently it was. Because I was nervous. Because I don't know who's actually watching this other than a couple of people. I mean, I know one of my friends watches it. I know one of the ladies from knitting watches this. Hello to you too. Oh, and actually I know another friend who's in another country watches it as well. But the rest of you, I don't know you. So it's kind of a bit nerve-wracking sitting here rambling at a camera, because I don't know how much of a fool I'm making of myself, because to me this is just me chatting to a camera, whereas if I was at knitting group or with a bunch of other friends knitting or whatever, there would just be conversation going and going and going, and suddenly 4 hours would have gone past. I'd be like, oh, I suppose we should probably go home now. And yet we'd have set the world to right, we'd have knitted half a jumper, or at least it would feel like it. So yeah, sorry that the episodes seem to be quite short, but hey, at least it means you know pretty soon if you like me or not. And on that note, if you do like me, or you think, oh, maybe after a few more episodes when she's got a bit more used to it, she'd be good to watch, if you'd like to hit the subscribe button down here, see, I remembered, that would be great, because then I'd know there's still other people watching who are interested. And also it would mean that every time I did put up a new episode, which is usually on a Sunday, I'm aiming for Sunday mornings, but sometimes it becomes Sunday afternoon, then you'd get a nice notification and you'd be able to go on and watch. There may possibly be other times where I pop up extra videos, such as, oh, I've discovered how to do this cool technique, here's a quick video showing you how, or if I'm not having an episode out, or if I do go to a yarn show, I might sort of make a mini vlog or something showing you like, oh, here's 30 seconds at this stand, here's a couple of minutes with this person I've met, and all added together like a short 5-10 minute video or something. So those are always a possibility, although I will say at the moment it doesn't look like I'll be going to any yarn festivals for quite a while, because the pennies, they are small, the budget for things of that sort is small. The only reason I can go to this event next weekend is because I paid for most of it, other than about 30 quid of it last year when I did have money, and actually some of it the year before that too. This has been booked since something like October or November 2016. That's where advanced planning gets you. It means you can still afford to do things even when your budget's dramatically diminished from what it was when you started booking. That was quite a bit of a ramble on things I didn't necessarily mean to go into. So on to the ramblings that I did mean to, which was mostly about TV. So in the last couple of weeks, when I've been over at my parents, because I go over to visit them on Wednesdays, and we tend to catch up on TV shows that we're watching together, or like originally we were watching Vikings, which is on Amazon Prime, and I have Amazon Prime and they don't, they have Netflix, so we were logging into my Amazon account with them, watching Vikings, and obviously Vikings, we've caught up on it all, and season 5 part 2 isn't out yet. I think it must be in post-production, because there was a load of photos on a few of the actors' Instagrams of like what would look like late season episodes and some post-production and bits, so it must be coming out soon. But recently, actually, on their Netflix account, we've been watching Star Trek Discovery, and I like it. It's good. Perfectly happy to watch it. But there seems to be something earlier in the week. I was like, what is it that I don't quite like about it? And I think what it is that it's at least the first, sort of 4, 5, 6 episodes seems to take itself way too seriously for Star Trek for me. I mean, yes, Star Trek did have some serious episodes and some serious themes through it across the years, but it's always, or at least my favourite parts of it, have always managed to do the serious topic with a nice humour over it, so it didn't feel too stodgy or too listen to me, this is what we should do, this is the way things should be kind of thing. It was never too preachy, whereas this version of Star Trek seems to be a little lacking in humour and a wee bit too serious. Like the serious humour balances are a bit sort of serious is high and humour is low, whereas most ones I've seen, because I've watched pretty much all of Next Generation, Voyager, quite a lot of the original series, I've watched all the new films, I've watched most of the old films as well, and they were always sort of, their seriousness and humour levels were sort of much closer, sort of ranging like this, whereas this one seems to be a bit more like this. It could just be that I haven't necessarily been focusing too much on it, because I do knit whilst I watch it. It could also be that maybe it seems more humorous or more how I feel Star Trek should be if you do a massive binge watch and did it all over like a couple of days, whereas we did, I think, 4 episodes Wednesday, not just gone the one before, and we did 3 episodes this Wednesday, so there's time between to like lose track. Obviously that would normally be what happened a few years ago when you had episodes come out week by week, one at a time, unless you were recording or something and then binged like a month at a time. But with it all coming out in one go and binge watching being more the norm, more series or producers and so on of series seem to be catering more for the binge watch. So they tend to sort of have like 4, 5, 6 episodes at a time where that's a point, and then you can break off a bit and come back the next day for the rest of it, or at least that's what it seems like to me. And this, maybe it would have seemed more like that. I mean, one of the episodes we watched yesterday did actually start feeling a lot more like the original, what I call the original Star Trek feel, which is sort of a mixture of some of the original series and Next Generation, where yes, they did deal with serious issues or themes or just had a more serious episode, but they did have a bit of humour in there. They did have humorous comments or themes as well. So maybe by the end of it, maybe the seriousness humour balance will have evened out a bit more instead of being like this. Maybe it'll be sort of maybe just like that instead. So that's what I'm hoping. So as I said, I do like it. At the moment, not my favourite, but also not, oh my god, how can we continue watching this? So I would give it something like, I don't know, 3 out of 5 at the moment, 3.5 out of 5, with some wiggle room for future episodes that obviously I haven't seen yet. I mean, obviously part of it is that the main viewpoint character has been brought up Vulcan, even though she is human, so emotions would be dampened and duty and logic, and which makes things feel more serious, would be heightened. Therefore that's possibly another reason, like as the character develops you get more of the human emotion with the laughter, the humour and so on. As she develops as a character, the tone of the series seems to be developing, so again maybe by the end of the season the balance will be better. So that, I mean, if that is the way they're doing it, then they're doing a really good job. So it probably would start off for most people at a 2.5 out of 5, 5 out of 10 kind of thing. and grow because it becomes more. But obviously that depends on if you want to actually continue watching it. Well, I will be finishing watching it and probably come back for season 2 unless the end of season 1 is dreadful, which I doubt, because it's not been dreadful so far, so I doubt that. And the only other bit of TV news that I was going to say, because I found out recently, or rather I re-found out, is that the TV show, at least in the UK it's Netflix only show, Sense8, their season 3 is going to be coming out on June the 8th, so that will be, that's what, Friday in about 4 or 5 weeks time, something like that. So I will definitely be watching that season at the weekend as soon as it's come out, pretty much. I can't remember if they said how many episodes it is, or if it's just a double length one, feature length episode to finish the whole show off, because at the end of season 2 it did actually get cancelled, and then due to fan pressure and I think Pornhub offered to pay to have the rest of the season produced, which obviously made Netflix go, there's still a lot of interest in this, maybe we were too soon cancelling it. So there was some deal done, and basically season 3 is going to wrap up all the immediate threads, and that's going to be it. But I can't wait, because I loved season 1 and 2 of Sense8. It was great. It was one of the things that all of us in the house were like, oh, new season's dropped, we're watching that. So that was great. And yeah, that was pretty much all my ramblings for this week. A bit of a general ramble about podcasting and 2 TV shows that I like and really like. So basically that's it, and thank you all for spending a little time with me today. As I said before, if you'd like to be kept up to date when new episodes go live, or when I put up anything else, any other mini videos or something, please hit the subscribe button, it's down here. Please hit the like button, which is for this episode, it's probably somewhere more like here-ish. Go over to the Ravelry group and join and have fun with the cowl. That's always good. Feel free to follow me on Instagram. That's always lovely. I'll have a bit of a chat with people whenever they come by. Basically, have a lovely crafty week. I probably won't see you next weekend. Should be able to see you in 2 weeks. So until then, have a wonderful time. Have a wonderful crafty time. Look forward to seeing you. Bye.